So people are following your business, but they do not purchase from you. You're probably under 5 years in business and you just don't know what's going wrong. In this video, I'm going to give you the ultimate guide to understand how to attract the right attention, not all attention, but the right attention from people who are serious buyers. We are going to go over attention marketing, lead qualification, and something that's called lifecycle marketing. So you want to get your pen and paper now because we are going to class today. Now, when we talk about attention marketing, we really want to understand your buyer psychology. No matter what industry you're in, this is dependent on your message and not your graphics. Whether you're an e-commerce store or a tax relief company or an education technology company or some other type of service provider like a lawyer or a business consultant, a business coach, somebody that does international business retreats, the main thing that matters is the message that you're showing your world. Because you can have great graphics, but people still don't buy, and you've already experienced that, which is why you're watching this video. Let me tell you a short story. Just last week, I was looking into hiring a new contractor in my business. Now, typically I hire and train contractors on my own. I do not get them through agencies. 9 years in business, I typically find people my own way. But this time I decided, let me see if I want to work with an agency who has somebody already trained. I'd been seeing this agency so often, okay? On all the Facebook ads, all the YouTube ads, they had great video editing. I really liked the aesthetic, to be honest with you, of the marketing. But when we got on that call, a few red flags happened. First of all, they list on their website that they do copywriting, but on the call they say, hey, we actually don't. The next red flag, they seem like they just had general contractors and nobody who really specializes in video editing, in AI editing, in data analysis. And so for where I'm at in business, I do not need a general contractor. I need a specialist, just like my copywriter is a specialist, just like my community manager is a specialist. And so I decided not to proceed forward with this brand. But that is a classic idea and a great case study to show you. You can have the best visuals, you can spend $10,000 a month on ads, but if your message and your market position are not properly aligned, then people like me don't buy. Serious buyers are much more discerning. We're asking the questions like, okay, does your service do this? Does your offer cover this? Are we getting into data? Are we getting into analytics? How far does this actually go? Does it match what you say that you're posting on your website? That was the hugest red flag I've ever seen in a long time, because most times entrepreneurs, when they write their website or they have a copywriter like me write their website, they know the services they provide. So that was really weird that they would not even know which services they had already advertised, which shows me there's a lack of continuity within the company and they're more focused on how it looks rather than the reality of the service they're providing. So you're probably wondering, how do I ethically get the attention of my correct buyers? Well, you first have to understand and be in alignment with this one fact. Not all traffic is good traffic. So many clients have come to me just in the past 2 to 3 years. If you're not in marketing and business, if you're not aware, Apple had changed their privacy settings. And so when you are trying to send ads or you're trying to run ads to a certain demographic, it is not as effective anymore as it was post, or I should say pre-2022, before those privacy settings were in effect. It used to be very clear, very distinguished that you could get in contact with someone who was a marketing consultant in Columbus, Ohio, this and that consultant in San Diego, California, but they started providing people with more privacy, so you really couldn't get those leads in those ads to be as specific as they used to be. Now that's good for the consumer, that is excellent for regular people, but it's bad for the businesses that are over reliant on ads. And this is why I always teach, whether you run ads or not, have an organic marketing strategy in your business. Now you're like, well, shouldn't I just try to go viral and get as much attention as possible? That is not your goal here, because you are specialized. I only work with people who are true experts, who have a true specialty, even if it's something as simple as, hey, I help people to get to sleep better after they give delivery to their first newborn. Or hey, I help people in menopause and their menstrual cycle because they've gained 35 plus pounds and they're super exhausted even though they're high achievers. These are specialties within specialties. And so you are one of those people who knows exactly what you do, who it's for. And because it's so specific, you're like, why are the clientele not coming in? I know this is a huge problem in the market, but it's all down to your copy. Copywriting is the ability to persuade someone to take a certain action. So there are a lot of steps that have to happen when somebody comes across your brand or your business before they feel like they can trust you. Number one, you have to have a lead generation mechanism that's directly tied to product marketing. So you may try to host a webinar, but it sounds too generic. Let's say if you are this menopause consultant that helps women around perimenopause, you're saying something like lose weight in the shortest time span ever. That is not super specific because we're not articulating the problem that they're experiencing. And then we're not bringing in a time constraint. So how long is your program? Your actual lead magnet mechanism needs to reflect how long your business, product, or service is, what it's like to go through that business, product, or service. Leaving out those details is going to leave your business in the red, okay? So instead, you need to be super specific, product marketing focused. And the requirement for that is you have to actually know what your offer is. You have to know what your service is. And it's even better when you have a signature service the way that I do. I've been selling magnetic emails for 6 years straight now. And so I can reuse some of my old content and update it. But when you're constantly changing products, changing services, changing offers, not only does it diminish trust, it also diminishes trust and ruins your credibility. And I want you to picture this for a second. I want you to imagine someone that actually wants to work with you. They come across your website copy is written very well. It's written exceedingly specific. You have case studies. You're talking about your process and your methods and your ideologies and how you can transform their life. But they find out when they get on a call with you that you're not actually selling what you say you sell. You seem like you don't even know what your offers are anymore. That's going to produce a huge level of incongruency in your business. And when you experience that as somebody that's looking to purchase something, whether it's $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, you as a high ticket buyer, you're going to say, oh no, I need to go with somebody else. I'm going to back out of here. They are going to end up going with somebody else who understands their own process and service, which is something that is just foundational if you're in business. You should know your own process, your service, your product offerings, but it shows that lack of preparation and lack of continuity. Now, let's do an exercise. I'm going to ask you 2 questions, or I should say I'm going to prompt you on 2 different titles for a lead magnet for accountants. And I want you to choose which one looks the best or sounds the best for that ideal target audience. Number 1, how to hire accountants leveraging Claude AI's Anthropic in 2026 and beyond. Or number 2, how to hire an accountant in 2026. Now, the big difference here is that we are actually specifying that they want to hire an accountant who is well-versed in Claude Anthropic. So we're going to pull in customers who are interested about Claude or who use ChatGPT but are looking to switch over and want to have an accountant that is AI literate for their accounting needs so that they can get their spreadsheets together, they can get their taxes together and all those things, versus somebody that just says how to hire an accountant in 2026. If you are AI focused and you're trying to hire for a specific problem, you're probably going to go with title number 1, which again shows us the difference in attention. Although this one may get mass attention, the quality of my leads is going to be lower because the title and the problem that I articulated were so generic versus somebody that's like, hey, I'm in the market and I know exactly who I want to hire. I want to hire somebody somebody who is an accountant, but also knows how to leverage AI in their accounting firm so that my business can save on taxes, so that we have our accounting intact, so that we are AI literate in the finance part of our business. Those are two very specific, well, three very specific, I should say, qualifications for that business. And so you can guess which business is going to get the most revenue from that lead magnet, because the lead magnet is then so specific that we know what to email about for the nurture sequence. Now, when I get into nurturing, we are not talking about, holding a baby, holding a cat, holding something and just nurturing it. Nurturing in marketing can only be done, and I want to make this very, very clear, from a corporate marketing standpoint. When we say we are nurturing leads, that can only be done via two methods: email marketing and SMS. Nurturing an audience cannot happen on social media. All the social media gurus would love to tell you, focus on social, but nurturing cannot by definition happen on social. One, because the way that social algorithms work, even here on YouTube, you are going to see some of the videos, then some of the videos you're not going to see. Same thing on Instagram. You're going to see some content from your favorite entrepreneur, but then some of their content you're not going to see, because Instagram only pushes you to about 2% of your total follower count. The rest of the people, by default, they're going to end up forgetting about you. That's why you have an email list, or that's why you should have an email list quite early. And just so you know, everybody starts out with a small email list. Like, it's not the end of the world to start out with 50, a couple hundred, 1,000 followers for your email list, because you have to start somewhere. But that's that marketing and business asset that you really want to grow with your firm over the next 2 to 3 years. We are making business and marketing decisions that are going to outlast the next 90 days. Now, this is the work that we do inside of Undeniable, my one-to-one coaching program. Month 1, we cover your social media marketing calendar. And again, we do not just want generic attention like that title number 2 that we came up with. We want specific attention towards a specific problem in the market that you solve. This is where the 20-question framework comes in, because you have to know your market positioning. Now, after the 20-question framework, we do 2 calls per month in Undeniable. After the 20-question framework, we work on your social media calendar after we're ready to attract the attention of the right caliber of client, very specific. Then month 2, we can move into your lead magnet. So we are either auditing a lead magnet you already have, which is a free resource to attract people to your email list, or we are creating a brand new one, an ebook, not a checklist. Checklists are so 2018, just leave that behind. You're going to attract very generic people that are totally unaware of their own problem that they need solved. And so you want to get specific here. Now, typically people have 2 objections to this. Either they're like, hey, I'm not that far yet in business where this applies to me. Or they're like, man, it seems like I'm going to lose buyers. I don't want you to be afraid of losing buyers. That's a scarcity mindset, because the real revenue is in long-term, high-quality contracts that happen over 3, 6, 12, 18 months, 24 months, where people are willing to pay you multiple thousands per month to work with them. That's the type of client that you want to attract, versus, hey, I'm attracting a list of 10,000, 15,000 people, but none of these people even open my emails. They don't even buy from me. They're not even interested. And the reason that is because your choice of lead qualification, if you are honest with yourself, you do not have a real lead qualification source in your foundational business. And so that can look like having a questionnaire, but also it's the type of white paper that you're even putting out there. If you're putting out something that's too generic, then you're going to attract generic buyers. If you're putting up something that shows the value and sophistication of your expertise, and then getting your clients to go through a level of readiness to understand where on that buyer's journey they actually are, to see if they're even the right client to work with you, then you attract higher caliber clients. And that should be your goal in 2026 and beyond. Now, month 3 is my absolute favorite, because so many entrepreneurs sleep on this. Data and analytics. Now, I love data and analytics as a marketing analyst and marketing specialist, But most entrepreneurs feel too intimidated by the numbers in their business. They don't want to actually see what's happening in their firm. It could be a little bit of guilt because you're not really taking your business to where it needs to be. You're treating it like a side hustle that you do Saturday and Sunday. You're not totally focused on your business. You're not even putting in the hours into your business like you would a 9 to 5. You don't even invest in your business. Like you would spend money on vacations, on miscellaneous stuff, on other stuff than you would put in investing in your marketing for your business. Now, data analysis is really it almost feels magical when you understand your data, because if you are looking at your top 3 performers after you post, and then you're recreating that content, changing and testing your calls to action for somebody to work with you, your business is going to generate so much more revenue that it's going to sound like it's crazy if you tell it to your family and your friends, because that's what data analysis does. It tells you what's working, it tells you what's not working, and your job as the CEO is to say, okay, the data is showing me what's not working. I need to cut that out completely and only focus on what's generating revenue and only post that type of content. Now, there's a lot of things you can test when it comes to being a data analyst. You can test the length of your videos that you're creating. You can test whether people sign up to work with you via live or via edited reels and edited videos like this, or you can test platforms. You can test LinkedIn versus Instagram. Now, this is all data that I already know in my business and my clients already know in their business. It's not enough. And this is really that main differentiator between someone who says they want to start a business and really never get it off the ground. They never get a consistent 50, 60, 70, 80, 100,000 every single year in revenue. They're just kind of playing with it. It's on the side. You may have an LLC, but it's just, you're really treating it like a side hustle, versus a business that's a well-oiled machine that seems like it shows up everywhere on every platform, and it seems like that entrepreneur always knows what to post. Well, that didn't come out of nowhere. That came from them testing and performing data analysis every 30, 60, and 90 days. Those increments are key in corporate America, and they're key for your small business as well, because 30 days tells you what's working right now. 60 days tells you what was working in the interim. 90 days tells you what was working in the past and the overall insight of where your business forecast is going for the next 90 days. This should be something that you are spending at least 10 hours on per month, just so that you can make the proper decisions on what to post in your business. Because if you are posting without even looking at analytics, then it's like you're just posting just so that you can have a hobby. You're just making a hobby out of posting, and that should not be your goal as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman. That totally should not be your goal. If you want to continue to scale your business, go global, sign more clients, get more people in your group practice, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So that is what we go over during month 3. And I want you to understand, this is exactly why clients will come in and work with our firm for 18 months, for 24 months, because once you have that foundation in your business, you don't want to let it go, and you begin to understand this is actually a lot to cover. This is a lot for me to do on my own. I'd rather just have a fractional marketing director in my firm for a fraction of what corporate America pays. Corporate America pays these people $120K, $250K. Sometimes on the low side, if you're from like a West Virginia or Ohio, they may pay you $90K, right? In corporate to get that same job done. But small businesses can get it done for $2,000 a month, $1,000 a month. And when you look at the savings and the cost effectiveness and then the return on investment, it's inevitable. It's like, yes, I need a marketing director who understands marketing on a deeper level on my team so that I even know where I'm going with my business. If that sounds interesting to you, you should join Undeniable Live. Our next one is late February. Check out the link in the description to register for the live event where we're going to dive deeper into data analysis for your business. But again, disclaimer, understand, if you are anti-posting, if you are anti sending an email, if you are anti expanding into Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube and hosting your podcast simultaneously, then you won't have any data to even look at, okay? And so this is not for people that say they're in business, but when you really look at your business, you're actually not in business. You're just saying it, right? This is for people who have been in business for 1 to 2 years, under 5 years, but you are about that life. You post on your podcast every single month. You post on social media at least a couple of times per month. You post somewhere pretty consistently, but you want to get even more consistent. You want to optimize and refine your business further so that you're not treating it like a side hustle that you only do on the weekends. And if you're listening to this and you've listened to all of the Introvert Marketing Podcast episodes and you're like, I don't want to go to the free event, I just want to book you now, I have 2 spots for February undeniable. 1-to-1, the 3-month coaching session that we have already basically talked about in this video. Go ahead, check out the link in the description and grab your seat. You're going to go to Acuity Scheduler. It's going to give you a date. It's going to give you your payment links. And then I'm going to send you a contract. And then we are going to have a kickoff call to go over your 20-question framework so that we can treat your business like a corporation that has the branding guide that they need to continue to execute sales and marketing so that your business thrives even in geopolitical chaos. Now, hit the like button, share this video with as many people or in your business groups as you can, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom, shalom.